that is by establishing a small-scale business in which I will be paying tax annually. So this tax period can be used for infrastructural developments like road construction, buildings of schools and hospitals and the like.
In order to improve the Gambia, I think we need to improve the people first. And the most important thing we could do is work with the children, that is the growing population of the country. I can personally do something to improve the Gambia by either having a TV show or a radio show that will be sensitizing the children, teaching them new skills, share ideas and get to learn from each other. And then the children that are on the radio show could pass it on to their friends or their cousins in other parts of the country. And then by the time we know what's going on, the message would have been circulated around the country. I personally think that that will help because the children are going to be the future leaders of tomorrow. So if we improve their mentality, change the way they think, and give them a positive feeling about life, and then that's it. The country will, be...
We think, we have a quota to play in the socio-economic development of the Gambia, particularly on the side of motor vehicle. That's why when we finished our studies, we came back to the Gambia, opened this garage, employ Gambians, and at the same time to make sure, we have that standard roadworthiness of the vehicles. And at the same time, we realized that obviously, Gambians are, getting into more latest vehicles rather than obviously buying second hands and stuff like that. And those vehicles are more of electronics type, and therefore definitely, people without that, educational background will not be able to work on those vehicles. And obviously that will put, the road users and even the, owners of the vehicles at risk, because if the vehicles are not roadworthy, obviously the people driving the cars and obviously the road users as well, lives are at risk. So that is one thing that we came in to try to help address that kind of situation. And like I just said earlier on, to contribute to the socio-economic development, of the country, obviously employing Gambians. Because if you look at our garage, all employees are Gambian, very young ones, and even encouraging more, especially women. We're taking them in to encourage them to get into this automotive field and stuff like that. And right now we have about 8 trainees that we're training. And out of that train, my company is sponsoring four of them at the GTTI, full sponsorship, and like I just said, obviously we think, we have that part to play towards the socio-economic development of this country, and we think this is one of the ways to do it. Obviously, because those people that we employ, we're paying them, they're feeding their families, and they're all Gambians. And at the same time, people's, vehicles are roadworthy. And at the same time, obviously, we're saving the police time, because if the vehicles are roadworthy, that means less accidents. And that is mean less work for the police. And obviously, less work for those at the hospital, because obviously most cases, accidents, people get injured and, the hospital or whatever has to do some work on them, and all that comes to the, government's expenses and stuff like that. So we think we're definitely, playing a big role and part of, that aspect of socio-economic development.
My main aim to develop the Gambia is to study accountancy, have this stuff, and first begin with the teaching field, whereas I will teach to also give my knowledge to others so that they can have exact as I have, and I believe that would at least develop the Gambia into another thing. Then from there, after the teaching, if I have the opportunity to work somewhere else, from there, any little thing that I have, I will also share it to the Gambia to develop the Gambia.
I can do a lot, but then the thing that I want to talk about is littering. People litter a lot, and but I can stop people from littering, but then I as a person can prevent myself or try not to litter. And if we have like 10 or more people with the same mentality, then I guess we will have a conducive place to live in. And also, I think I'm not abusing the civil service, because I've been a good citizen. I try not to commit crimes or, do illegal stuff, so I'm out.
Personally, I've been a child advocate for a very long time, and in continuing to do so, I hope I'll be able to ensure that the safety of children is guaranteed, to ensure that there is a friendly Gambia created for all children in the country. And I also hope in the future, when I become a lawyer by God's grace, I would continue to do the same thing and ensure that the wall is healed for children, like Michael Jackson said, and also to ensure that women are also protected.
Well, I believe that as Gambians, we all have our role to play in the development of the country. So as a law student, I'll ensure that when I hopefully graduate, that's with the help of God, I'll ensure that I defend the rights of the poor and the oppressed. I believe in that way I'll be contributing my own role to ensure that the Gambia is a better place for all of us.
Very, very important question you should always ask yourself. Every morning you wake up, ask yourself that question. And don't be satisfied with an answer until you feel like you got the right one. That question is, what can you do for your own country? You heard what those people said? Think about your own answer and make sure you practice it. Practice what you preach. That was the Kadu Askanwi right there. What can you do for your own country? I know what I can do for my country, but I'm not satisfied with it, so I'm still working on doing some more. Yes. And now we have another exclusive interview with a very, very prominent writer, very inspiring, very interesting. X-Miles had a chit-chat with Mr. Modu Sabali, who's a very interesting writer, and listen to what he had to say, what he shared with us on Fila. Don't go away. It's your favorite TV show, Fila.
Welcome to another edition of Kanla. As you know, this segment of the Fila show basically just seeks to bring out the profiles of individuals, you know, who are high standing in society, people who have achieved something, you know, in their lives and are still going for more. And in this segment here, we have a person that is, I don't know how to describe him because he's into a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, but we have him right here. He'll basically just break it all down for us. His name is Momodu Sabali. Mr. Sabali, welcome to Kanla.
Thank you, and Manla, Momodu Sabali.
Right.
Born in Banjul, grew up in Lamin, Kombanov. Went to school in St. Peter's and Gambia High Schools. 94, finished A-levels, out of school, no work, no university. I was playing football, and then the university extension program came in. First time in the Gambia, to go or not to go. For some reason, I decided to go.
When was this? This was 94?
The university started November 95.
95.
And I joined, and it has made all the difference in my
Man,
life.
I was in middle school back then.
Yeah, I know. You are the Fila generation, so I didn't expect you to be older than that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a brief synopsis of your educational career.
Absolutely.
Is that where you stopped?
No, I finished
You
99,
took it further.
first batch.
Right.
And took up a job. Then I was working at the Department of Youth and Sports also.
Right.
And then
Whilst you were going to the university.
I was going to the school, I was also
Right.
doing some youth work. And
Right.
I graduated February 99. September 99, I started work at the Central Bank as a research economist. Did 5 years there.
Wow.
Sixth year, 2005, I left for the United States to do a master's in economics at Georgia State University.
Wow.
And then came back 2008, went back to the bank, worked again another year, and then in late 2009, early 2010, I joined the Ministry of Finance as Director of Budget, and that's where I still work.
Well, that's pretty rich if you ask me. Well, that's on the educational side. We'll eventually get back to that again because I would want a couple of things in detail. But coming over to your personal life, you said you were born in Banjul. You care to tell us how long ago this was, or?
About your
about
your age plus 10, 12 years.
Wow.
Mid-70s to be precise.
Mid-70s.
Mid-70s.
Well, that shouldn't be 10, 12 years plus my age.
Okay, maybe I'm underestimating your age. Plus or minus.
Right, right.
So, yeah, I lived in Banjul for some 6 years.
Right.
After the 1981 coup, we left for Lamin.
Okay.
I guess the coup was a bit too tough for us. So we decided to get away from the capital.
Had to go to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Right. So, so we can correctly say you grew up in Lamin.
Lamin, yeah.
Right, and then that's where you went to school, primary school, and then you moved on to Gambia School. Gambia High School.
And then Gambia High for A-level.
So what was life like for you, growing up?
Growing up, it was very interesting. You know, of course, born in a poor family, you know, but you are happy to get all these mangoes around you know, after lunch and, you know.
Yeah, coming from Banjul.